everyone, Annie here from Stamp Anything, and today we're going to be making an adorable, cute little shaker ornament. So I am going to start off, I already pre-prepped my items. I'm using our Shaker Basics circle dies. It's got the solid bottom and then the frames. And I went ahead and cut out several of the frames out of chipboard. I like using chipboard as opposed to foam tape to get my thicknesses, to make the wall to hold those sprinkles that we'll be using. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start prepping this by just simply taking all of our chipboard frame pieces, and we're just going to put some glue on every piece, and we're just going to start stacking them together. This is an alternative way to do your shakers. Obviously, you can use your dimensional foam tapes. I just think it gives a much cleaner look when you use chipboard, and then it's all going to match up perfectly, and you know that you're not going to have any opening gaps that anything will leak out. The only thing here is, depending on the size of your shakers, how chunky they are, is going to determine how many of the frame bases you'll have to cut out to make your wall thick enough to house all of those shaker bits. Sometimes when you're doing with foam tape, you might have to do 2 layers if they're really high or chunky. So it's kind of the same concept. I do think this goes nice and fast, and you know everything's going to line up perfectly because they're all cut from the same die. So they're all going to just line up perfectly for you. So we're just doing our last frame bit here, and see how quickly it goes together. Especially with circles, putting foam tape on a circle I find to be a little bit more difficult than a square. So I really like using this on these kind of shapes as well. So now that we have our base down, I also cut out my solid background and my top frame. So now I can go ahead and take my solid acetate circle, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue that to the top of the frame. So we have our little window section. We're just going to place that on. And you're just going to want to make sure you get a good seal around. That way nothing is going to escape with your shaker bits. I also cut a piece of chipboard and some glitter paper, and I used one of our edger dies to give a scalloped edge, so that is going to serve the purpose of my little hanger, because I'm going to make this circle die into a Christmas ornament. So I'm just going to glue the glitter paper onto my chipboard. This is no exact measurement. I just cut a piece, and then I'm going to just trim it down to what I think is going to look best once I get my circle all set up. Okay, now my acetate should be pretty much almost dry, so now I can go ahead and glue on my top frame piece. So I'm going to go ahead, just show you what it's going to look like. It's the bottom, and then it's going to have the frame, and then here is the gold piece to make it look like the top of an ornament. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get our decorative frame glued down. And again, since you're using the same die over and over for all of these pieces, you know that they're going to line up perfectly together. And then you just want to clean out your acetate, and also if you have a powder brush, to go ahead and do it on the inside to make sure that you get anything that is sticky, whether it's glue or foam tape, so that your sprinkles aren't going to end up sticking to them. So I'm just brushing that off camera really quick to make sure nothing will stick. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in our cute little sprinkles. These are from our Holidayville grab and go box that was just released at the end of October. It is a themed based on How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So these little sprinkles are perfect for that theme. It's got the color of the Grinch. It's got little Santa hats and hearts and all kinds of cute little holiday designs in there. So now that my sprinkles are in the base well, I can go ahead and glue the bottom portion, which is the solid piece, to close up my shaker. And again, you just want to make sure you go all the way around so nothing will spill out. And then you're just going to line up your bottom circle to your base of your shaker. And I'm just making sure it's even all around. And then there is the fastest and easiest shaker of all. So now my little topper, I think it's a little too wide, so I want to go ahead and trim that down a bit. So I'm just, again, I'm not measuring, I'm just guesstimating and eyeballing what I think is going to be a good size. I think the width is right, but I think now the height is a little too tall, so I'm just going to snip off a little bit there. And now we have the perfect cap to our ornament. So I'm just going to go ahead and now I'm going to glue that down. And now we have the look of an ornament. And now I have my colored image. This is our version of Cindy Lou Who. And we're going to be able to just put her off to the side and then add a sentiment, punch a hole in the top of our ornament. And she can be a gift tag, she could be an ornament, she could be whatever you need her to be. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some foam tape and just go ahead and foam tape her to the back side. And I'm just going to foam tape the one side of her that's going to actually be hanging onto the ornament. I don't have to foam tape the whole body when they're hanging off, so you can, you know, save some of your materials that way. So it's just a matter of lining it up to see how much further you got to go out. And she can still get part of her face. Can still get, that one went off the side here, so let me just trim that. I'm just going to add some more just to make it a little bit more stable. And probably one more little section on that part of her head as well. That way it's all leveled up so you don't have, like if someone was to push on her, it doesn't sink in. So let's just grab all that, get our foam tape on. And now she should be ready to go. So now we're just going to go ahead and remove all of our backing tape. So just removing all of these pieces here. Okay, and then we can go ahead now and add her to the front, just to make sure she's nice and secured. And like I said, now all you have to do is punch a hole in the top if you want to hang her, and then we're going to add a sentiment as well. And then she'd be done. In our Holidayville box, you also have a boy version Grinch, a girl version Grinch. And these are all pre-colored for my projects that I was doing for their release. We also have Max the dog. He's so super cute. And then we even have the Mayor and Martha May from the movie version, the live action version movie. And then there even was a Santa sack, and there's some presents. So there's a lot of stamps that come in our grab and go box. It's a really good value. It also came with this 3-dimensional sleigh die that you can add your images to, and then you can put, a treat or something inside the box. You can use them as placeholders at your holiday table. Just super cute items that came in the Holidayville grab and go box. So now I'm just gonna see what else I want to put on here, and I'm probably just gonna end up putting a sentiment. In the box we also had a builder stencil, and I'm gonna show you really quick how that goes together. So with our card mat die, I just cut out my card shape. And then there's 3 layers to this die, this stencil. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put down my first layer, which is the tree base. And these builder stencils make building up a background or a scene really, really super easy. And this one, I'm just going to go ahead and use our bamboo ink and hybrid ink, and I'm just going to really quickly and easily put down this lighter green for the base of our tree. And if your blending isn't completely smooth, that's okay, because you are going to be layering on it, and this is the bottom layer. Okay, and then the second layer, which is these layers of the tree, you can either do them in white embossing powder if you want it to look like snow, or if you have a really good white pigmented ink, you can also do that. I don't have my white ink handy, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make my tree an indoor tree. So no snow on mine. I am just going to make the branches darker in color to give it some dimension. So I'm just going to line it up, and because of the stencil, you can see the color you already put down, so it lines up perfectly. And I'm going to use the same exact green ink, but this time I'm going to go in and add a little bit more pressure so that it comes out a little bit darker in the same tone. But you could definitely use different shades of green if you have more than one green ink available. But as simple as that, we just added that, and now you have a cute little dimensional evergreen tree for your holiday. And now you have your third and final stencil, which would be adding the ornaments. And again, this you can do with, if you have more of like pigmented inks that are going to sit on top as opposed to soak into the paper, so that the colors are going to stay brighter. I'm using hybrid ink, so they are going to lose some of that vibrant intensity because it's going over that darker green. But you'll see that it still comes through just fine. And also you can, if you didn't want to stencil on the ornaments, you can use rhinestones or even enamel dots or whatever you wanted to make your ornaments. And you can also just do embossing powder or even colored pencils, or gel pens. There's so many different things that you can do if you did not want to go ahead and stencil this part on it as well. So I'm just making sure that I layer on as dark as I can with these colors to sort of at least let the color of the red show through as opposed to the green underneath. And I'm just trying to pick out my darker colors, like my reds, a darker blue, a darker purple, because something like yellow is not really going to show up very well. So here's our purple. We're just going to go ahead now and add in some more of the Christmas tree ornaments. And again, this is part of our Holidayville grab and go box. These items are not sold individually. You can only get it in the box. That's how you get the best value. I believe there was eight stamps and 7 dies in this box. You got the sleigh builder die. You got this builder stencil. You got a 24 sheet of 6x6 double-sided decorative paper. You got sequins and sprinkles. You got ribbon. You got glue and tape, and you got just all kinds of things that come in our grab and go boxes that just really make the value of it so much more affordable than if you were to buy each piece individually. And they are themed, of course, every single one that we sell. So it's a really great value. Basically, everything you need to make projects is all contained in the grab and go box except for your coloring materials and scissors. You even get card bases for you to make your cards. So that even comes right in the kit as well. And these are usually a limited supply and a limited quantity. So when we do offer our grab and go boxes, kind of want to get them as soon as they come out. Otherwise, you have to wait for the second run from manufacturing. So this one just debuted at the end of October. And it's perfect for the holiday season. And now you have the ornaments on your tree. How easy and simple was that? And you can still, obviously you can see that the colors of the ornaments are different. We just couldn't do anything that was yellow. But again, you could add rhinestones, glitter. You could even take a glitter pen now and add your garland with some stickles or whatever you wanted to use to just to keep jazzing up your tree. And then I'm just going to take some yellow really quick because I just want to give the background a little bit of some more dimension. So I'm just kind of doing like a halo haze around my whole entire tree. And you certainly could have put this down first since it's a lighter color and your green could have gone on top of it. But I'm just doing it just to quickly show you how easy it is to use these builder stencils that we carry. So super, super easy. And you already have right there a backdrop for a lovely Christmas card. And then all you have to do is then take your little images or whatever your coloring is. You could even leave the tree like that and just add a ribbon and a sentiment. But we still have characters left over. So you could play around and make your little scene however you want. Put the Grinch with the presents and the dog. I mean, however you want to decorate it up. Because there's so many different images that you can use to make many different projects with a box. And then you can just stamp your sentiment. And then take your card mat and just glue that straight on to a card base. And that tree will also work on slimline cards, so everything can be however you need it to be for your project. And once you decide what you wanted to do, you would just go ahead and add your tape to your character. And put on all of your little finishing touches. And have a really, really wonderful little project when you're done. And you can see how quickly it would come together. And then you would just take that and glue it to your card base and add your sentiment. Super, super easy. So again, that was our Holidayville. And these are just some of the image. These are all of the images that come in the box. Like I said, there were 8 stamps. And you can see how they're all nicely themed, again, with that die. So thank you for stopping by, and I will see you next time, and have a great day. Bye.